Good Wednesday evening, Southeast Texas. Welcome to 12 News Plus. I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn. We'll take a look at the next 7 days with quite a bit of detail. Otherwise, heavy rain coming down over at the Horseman's Western Store. They picked up 7/10 of an inch of rainfall in just the last few minutes, even some power outages. Currently 76 rain-cooled degrees there on the roofing at 911 Skycam network. This is all due to an approaching upper-level disturbance and also the sea breeze moving in off the Gulf. In your allergy report today, we're back up to moderate levels on weed and grass pollen. Mold is still at high levels across Southeast Texas. And you read the headlines. Slight chance this evening. Looks hot and dry and sunny tomorrow. Thursday and Friday both look sunny, or I should say dry. A little more cloud cover on Friday. Saturday, a slight chance. Sunday will be the day that we see our best chance of shower and thunderstorm activity as a cold front pushes through our area. So early next week, looks like a little touch of fall trying to move into Southeast Texas. Here's my forecast tomorrow. 94 degrees, mostly sunny, no rain in the triangle. Here's modeling, which is ridiculous, that it shows a 10 to 20% coverage tomorrow morning. I don't think that's going to happen. Otherwise, again, here's my forecast for the lakes area. 95 in the lakes. Sunny to mostly sunny, maybe sunny tomorrow. No rain expected. Again, modeling. Where does this 10% coverage come from? How is that going to happen when you've got clear skies? So modeling is going to be too wet, obviously, tomorrow. Could get up to 96. I think that's a real doable possibility, but expect lots of sun across Southeast Texas. Fantastic news for Friday night football. We do not expect any rain this week for Friday night football at kickoff, halftime, or even at the end of the game. Light south winds expected. Temperatures will be warm and humid, mid-80s at kickoff, low to mid-80s at halftime, and upper 70s by the end of the game. So the big story, I guess, over the next 7 days, besides a quiet forecast in the Gulf, is that we will be watching a pretty significant cold front moving into our area as we work on into, say, Sunday night. And by Monday afternoon, you will certainly feel it across Southeast Texas as lower humidity works on in, little breezy northeasterly winds and dropping humidity levels. So for the next 7 days, hot, humid, and increasing rain chances as we work on into Saturday. But Sunday, we may not get out of the mid-80s because of the threat for shower and thunderstorm activity and extensive cloud cover. Monday, it'll be mainly just cloud cover and a breezy northeasterly wind. So kind of a break and a feeling still not bad Tuesday and Wednesday as we'll begin to see drier air and lower dew points, meaning lower heat indices across Southeast Texas expected certainly Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Those lows likely getting into the 60s. Otherwise, no rain expected Thursday, Friday. Saturday, a small chance. Sunday's going to be the best chance. It's either going to be 40, 50, 60, 70% coverage. We'll go with the 50% coverage right now for Sunday. And then dry weather expected Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as a much drier air mass filters on into Southeast Texas. We do not expect any rainfall early next week, and those lows will likely be well down into the 60s. You'll see that on the 7-day forecast. So here's the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, and as you can see, it does dry out a bit today into tomorrow and into Friday. We start going up on Saturday and Sunday, as you can see. So a slight chance coming up Sunday, and I should say Saturday. Best chance will be on Sunday because we go way up the scale and then look at how the humidity levels or the moisture levels really tank coming up Monday afternoon, Tuesday, and Wednesday. This is going to mirror our rain chances over Southeast Texas. So right now it's pretty much over Orange. Let's see, the one over towards Buna weakening and near Port Arthur rain coming down. A little closer inspection shows, yeah, the heavy rains over towards Orange. That is slowly slipping southeastwards away from Little Cypress and Orange. And Port Arthur getting a little bit of rain. And also you can see up towards Buna, that is weakening back over to Winnie. So do you see these lines on radar? Have you ever wondered what those are? Those are what we call outflow boundaries. Think of them like cold fronts, shower and thunderstorm activity. Showers, rain, bring cooler, wet air down to the ground. Well, what happens to that air? It can't go through the ground, so it spreads out like a cold front, a weak cold front. Let's see. This is, I believe, the sea breeze right there. That's not what I wanted to do. Sea breeze off towards our north. You can see it right there. Sea breeze here. Maybe an outflow boundary up there. That may be, yeah, that's an outflow boundary. These are boundaries in the sea breeze there. A lot of little lines. See that? This is, look at the shower and thunderstorm activity developing along that outflow boundary. That happens a lot of times. You get these outflow boundaries. So the rain falls. The rain is cool. So it acts like a front. It moves away in a line. And as it goes away from the cloud, it acts like a focus boundary for additional shower and thunderstorm activity once it reaches an area that is destabilized away from the parent thunderstorm. That's why you get these shower and thunderstorms redeveloping along those lines. So we'll watch southern Jasper, southern Newton for the potential for development there. Could we get something in Beaumont still? Yes. We're warm and hot and humid actually. So there's the potential for shower and thunderstorm activity. Look at this boundary's coming down from the north, this boundary's coming in from the south. So those collide, could create two boundaries, two waves. What happens? You have positive development. Let's see. Constructive interference, destructive interference. This will be constructive interference. Two waves come together, that causes lift in the atmosphere. So somewhere around Beaumont, that line heads south, this line heads north. Could get shower and thunderstorm activity here the next couple hours, next hour or so, that these two boundaries come together. Something to watch. It's really kind of a boundary right there. A lot of these boundaries, what we see in this type of situation. Look at this boundary coming in from Lake Charles. Shower and thunderstorm activity over there. Another boundary heading off to the west. That may enhance development of that cell back over to southwestern sections of Calcasieu Parish. And shower and thunderstorm activity over into the Sabine Lake. Being caused by some outflow boundary interactions. Just something we watch. Otherwise, the reason that we're seeing the shower and thunderstorm activity is this disturbance coming in from the north and west. And basically, I have colorized drier air. That is drier air. This is more of a dry line rather than a cold front. And that is moving into our area. So what that means tomorrow, look what's happening up in North Texas. No clouds. We may be sunny coming up tomorrow. And that north flow has pushed all the deep moisture well out into the Gulf of Mexico, as you can see, away from the coastline. Otherwise, tonight, slight chance this evening, and we will likely see temperatures dropping into the lower 70s and into the mid to upper 70s in the triangle. Tomorrow, lots of sun. It may be sunny. It'll be sunny to mostly sunny, and high should reach the mid-90s across southeast Texas with no rain expected. So here's the drier air. Again, look at your scale. This is a moisture scale. When you get up into the reds and the pinks and the oranges, that's deep moisture. Lots of moisture in the atmosphere. When you get into the browns, that's drier air. The drier air trying to sneak in here to southeast Texas. Notice the lack of greens and oranges across the area. It's all been shoved out into the Gulf. And as you can see, as we work on into Saturday, we start moving back up the scale. Moisture moving back into southeast Texas along with these blobs, if you will, of red. Those are disturbances. Disturbances cause lift, upward motion in the atmosphere. When you raise a moist layer into the atmosphere, and that helps to destabilize it, and that will cause the potential for a slight chance on Saturday, more likely on Sunday with the boundary coming down because of a cold front moving in from the north. That and this blob, which is an upper level disturbance, and plentiful moisture way up the scale, as you can see. So it could be some heavy rain coming up on Sunday, I should say. As that front pushes through, then we dry out. Look at all the dry air filtering on in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. That also can be very helpful in producing some pretty nice low temperatures well into the 60s as we head on into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. At least that's what I have to work with, and that's what we think is going to happen. The potential for that coming up next week. As far as the tropics, I think we are in outstanding shape. I'm very excited about this upper level pattern. The disturbance in the far eastern Atlantic, it's about almost midway between the Lesser Antilles, those little chain of islands, and the west coast of Africa. So we don't have a center of circulation. This is a weak system. It has not developed, but it has a high chance of development. So if we take a southern track, it would take it to the 13th, somewhere around there. I've taken all the ensemble members, 50 ensemble members, and mapped them out. They will all be within this ellipse by the 13th. If it takes a further northern course, it would be like that. Now, we want to fast forward into time. We're at the 13th. What is the upper level pattern going to be around the 13th? That will dictate whether or not this is an issue. And as you can see, we have a trough of low pressure along the East Coast, high pressure over Texas and the Rockies, which is the perfect setting as we head on into the peak of hurricane season. This is the pattern that protects us, and this is what we want to keep as we head on into the peak of hurricane season around the 22nd of September. So there's nowhere that this can go except back off towards the recurve, off towards the north and to the east. So I think this basically means that the Gulf is closed at least through at least the next 10 days. And of course, we're going to go a little bit further because as we head towards the peak of hurricane season, that's where my interest really is keyed up. So I've gone out to the 15 days, which would take us through the 18th, and that pattern holds. So it's looking really good as we head towards the peak of hurricane season. That would be the 18th of September. So looking pretty good right now. So don't anybody sneeze or just hold your breath. So I think we're in pretty good shape, at least through mid-September. On the Gulf, looking at mostly smooth seas around a foot and a west and then southwest wind at 5 to 10 knots, water temperature 90 degrees. High tides tomorrow at Sabine Pass at 3:44 a.m. and 11:35 a.m. So you got two high tides tomorrow, both in the morning. Got that? Sunrise 6:53 a.m., sunset at 7:35. The days continue to grow shorter, so we'll keep a 20% coverage, small coverage in the triangle through about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And mainly dry up in the lakes. Lows will be in the low to mid 70s, maybe closer to 80 in Port Arthur. So tomorrow, no rain. High temperatures will be between 93, 95, maybe 96. Heat indices could be close to the century mark. We'll have a very high UV index of 9.4. So that means if you are sun sensitive, like me, hello, you need to use sunscreen because you can burn, and I have, in as little as 15 minutes in a strong sun. So that's why the UV index is so very high. Otherwise, south and southwest winds at 2 to 7 miles an hour are expected tomorrow. It's either going to be mostly sunny or sunny. No rain expected. Light southwest to south winds at 2 to 7 miles an hour. Highs mid-90s for most areas except closer to Sabine Lake from Orange, Bridge City, Mid-County, Port Arthur. Mid-County may actually get to 94, and LaBelle maybe around 92, 93 tomorrow. So a hot, dry day. Taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast. Again, mostly sunny coming up on Thursday. No rain expected. I don't expect any rain on Friday because the atmosphere is dry. However, we do get some increase in moisture in the upper levels, so that could give us partly sunny skies. Look at those lows. 77 degrees and a high of 93. Saturday, clouds start really thickening up. We may go mostly cloudy on Saturday, but I still think Saturday's a keeper with just a 20% coverage. It'd be showers or thunderstorms, light, fairly light. I'm not expecting heavy amounts. Otherwise, look at those lows, 76, very warm and humid, 92. Sunday is when we expect our best chance of shower and thunderstorm activity to move through southeast Texas. We've got plentiful moisture. We've got a series of upper level disturbances and a cold front. I'm not going to mince words, a cold front moving through the area late Sunday. So we